Welcome to Lesson 7 of Your First Podcast, a Crash Course. Again, thank you guys for checking out the course. In this lesson, we're going to continue to talk about the steps you need to take to actually make or record your podcast. This is important. For this step, you just need to keep in mind, take your time. Take your time for recording your podcast. Set aside some time to record your show. For your first episode, I would suggest setting aside an hour to an hour and a half, just because this is your first episode. As you get more comfortable with podcasting, you probably won't need as much time. Remember to be patient with yourself. And remember that your podcast doesn't have to be perfect. You just want it to be done. At times, done is better than perfect, especially since you're going to be recording many more podcasts in the future. When you're recording, try to keep your first episode short and simple. Using the outline we discussed in Lesson 5, have an intro that introduces your podcast and who you are. Then briefly discuss a topic related to your podcast, and then wrap the show. Remember, the goal is to complete your first podcast episode. This is just the initial step to get you going on your podcasting journey. Again, podcasts don't have to be very long. Your first podcast can really be 5 to 7 minutes, whatever you're comfortable with. But again, I would recommend take your time. Don't feel rushed. Take the time that you need to communicate the ideas that you need to communicate. Read your script and be comfortable with doing what you're doing. I understand that recording yourself can be pretty uncomfortable, but you'll get used to it. We all are uncomfortable with hearing our voice for the first time and doing something new, but that's okay. We learn and we get better at it. So make sure to set aside some time to take your time when recording your podcast. In the next lesson, we're actually going to be discussing the techniques that you need to actually record your podcast.